Hey everybody, and welcome back to Interrogation, You Will Be Deceived. Let's go ahead and jump right back in. That's right. Remind me, what were we doing here? We had three terrorist suspects in that we need to talk to, is that it? Following leads from previous task force interrogations and confessions, we managed to track down and obtain evidence incriminating what we believe to be 3 high-level Liberation Front members. Yep, see, I remember. All of them have various connections to past bombings and already have been arrested pending trial. Helene Kofus is a deaf recruiter of the front. Anton Drasko has provided logistical support and bomb delivery. And Linda Bailey has stored and assembled the explosives. None of them deny their involvement with the Liberation Front, but have been uncooperative beyond that. They are sure to prove difficult suspects, as they have nothing to lose at this point and no real reason to divulge any information. A confession will not need to be extracted this time, but these terrorists are sure to be connected to other front members or have information about its future targets. We have a unique opportunity. What you manage to extract from them now might be crucial in finally unraveling their entire organization. Ooh, so this is interesting. Wonder how drastically it changes the future story. And I'm also now thinking there's 3 members, and that university teacher that was telling us all about the 3 different ways that we can approach 3 different kinds of people. And I just kind of blazed through that because it was at the end of a very long video and it was very boring. That's probably going to come back to bite me because I probably need to use those exact kind of techniques on these 3 people. So here we have Helene, or Helena, but I don't know. Let's just call her. Let's say that last E is silent. Well, it'll just be Helene now. Helene has been on a surveillance list for quite some time, as she is active in numerous Liberation Front chat rooms and forum boards. We have managed to infiltrate. She works as a wellness instructor, organizing outdoor retreats where she teaches yoga and mental relaxation techniques. Kofus is a paying member of the Our Small Animal Friends organization. She has participated in protests organized by Future is Female and is a lifetime voter of the Green Party. She has been linked to Cassandra Higgs as her close friend and confidant. Correspondence between the two proves that Helene has recruited, motivated, and aided Higgs in committing crimes for the Liberation Front. We have strong reasons to believe this was just another one of her projects inside the terrorist organization. She is deaf and mute. She will be able to understand most of your questions through lip reading and will reply with the aid of an interpreter. Next, we have Anton Drasko. Anton Drasko is a low-profile pornography studio owner with a reputation for niche fetish productions. His studio has been involved in multiple lawsuits, with actresses claiming they have been underpaid or mistreated on set. So far, Drasko has reached settlement agreements in all the cases. He is vocally anti-government and a staunch opposer of what he calls the progressive conspiracy of the left. He has a clean criminal record up to his involvement with the Liberation Front. By going through his studio's files, we managed to track deliveries made to Father Adam's church. Corroborating this with the priest's statement that he receives the explosive materials, we have strong reason to believe that Anton Drasko delivered the bomb Father Adams confessed to having planted. Alright, so it's interesting that she is like very left, because they talk about her being part of the Green Party, and she's a feminist, and she's an animal rights activist, and this guy is a staunch opposer of the progressive conspiracy of the left. So it's interesting that he's so different. But we already talked about how that organization is made up of so separate ideologies that don't really mesh together. Linda Bailey is the widow of the decorated General Tom Bailey. She is not currently employed, and from what gathered, never has been. She dedicates herself fully to raising and educating her 3 sons. Bailey and her family live in a large country house on the outskirts of the city. Because of this apparently fulfilled life, It came to a surprise to our officers that the description Daniel Wilson gave us of the person who blackmailed him to place the mall bomb ultimately led us to Bailey. Okay, so it's saying like she has a good life, so why is she involved with the terrorist group? Even more disturbing, the ensuing raid revealed not only the explosive material of the same caliber and type Wilson's bomb used, but also sufficient additional material to build several more explosives. While this clearly incriminates Linda Bailey, we have no indication where she intended to use the other explosives or why. Alright, let's bring him in. Okay, so here's her interpreter. Okay, so now we know. We have these indicators. -1, so she's probably not afraid of us. And 1 meaning she's more open. Let's check. Everyone starts at that level? Everyone starts at that level. Interesting, you're probably the first deaf terrorist I have ever met. That's probably not the best opening. Greeting, Miss Kofus. I have a few questions for you, if you would be so kind as to indulge me. You're murderous trash, and I loathe to be in the same room as you. We're only talking because there are bigger fish to fry. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Greetings, Miss Kofus. Let's start politely. She says something. Yes, hello. They nod during a brief exchange with the interpreter. She greets you too. Greeting, Miss Kofus. So what's your story? Let's talk about Cassandra. So there's no time limit, thankfully. What's your story? Tell me about yourself, Miss Kofus. She says there's nothing special to tell. Okay. I believe the eclectic array of interest you hold, Miss Kofus, is more than special. Or I'd say being a mass-murdering piece of shit is pretty fucking special, if sick and twisted. Maybe not, but if you're an ordinary person, then that's even more important that it's even more important that I understand you. Yeah, let's try to play up on that. Okay, so maybe she's still trusting us a little bit more. She says that's exactly the problem, that ordinary people have been made desperate enough to throw their lot in with the front. Oh, so you're claiming that you were manipulated. Why yoga? Are you happy in your life, Elaine? What does your family think about your arrest? Tell me about your yoga. She asks you why you chose police work. I'm asking you the fucking questions here. Well, since I was a kid, I wanted to catch bad guys. I'm good at it. It's my calling. It's just a job. No, I wanted to catch bad guys. There you go. She says that so did she. But that the bad guys are high ups, sitting as CEOs in official positions. Okay, so you don't, I mean, as we said, you don't deny that you are part of the terrorist group, and you're kind of just laying it all out on the table here. Are you happy? Oh, she's really opening up now. She says she's comfortable, but that she can't be happy in a world in which the rich own the poor through capital and religion. See, I really wish I'd been paying more attention to the academic lady. What does your family think about this? Let's not ask about her family. No reason to bring them up into this. Let's talk about Cassandra and how you got her into trouble. How can you justify all the suffering you've caused? How did you go from yoga trainer to recruiter? We have 2 other friends of yours. Tell me about them. Let's talk about Cassandra. I mean, I don't want to say how you got her in trouble, but I'm forced to say it. She asked what else you want to know. You don't feel any guilt about involving her in all this? She's facing life in jail. Oh. Well, that go up? She's a little more afraid. She says that's what you think, that the military-industrial complex will victimize her, have her killed in a prison incident. You can't really think that you and Cassandra, both privileged to the extreme, are victims, can you? Or, hey, I hate the military-industrial complex as much as you do, but Cassandra was just sloppy. Yeah, let's go for that one. Oh yeah, she's really trusting us now. She says that's true. You don't feel any guilt in involving her in this? She says that no, Cassandra was an intelligent, strong, and confident woman who made her own decisions. What did you teach Cassandra to do in case she got caught? She says that she just taught her to be a reasonable human being that tries to defend our future. You know, though, that Cassandra broke and is the one who gave you up to us, don't you? Indeed, Cassandra didn't give us anything in the interrogation after we arrested her. No, I mean, she didn't. We learned of Cassandra because we knew of Helene. Or however we're pronouncing her name at this given time. So yeah, she didn't squeal on you at all. She says that's right, she's a true loyal friend. Okay. How can you justify all the suffering you've caused? I mean, let's see. What will she say? It might annoy her, honestly. Oh no. She's well and truly admitting to it. She says she has a hard time sleeping after that. Do you? What did you hope to achieve? She says dissolution of the power structures, capital, authority, religion, gender, and social roles. Okay, so just a general anarchist utopia. Okay. Isn't killing innocents wrong to you? Don't you think that even in the utopia the Liberation Front wants to build, the more charismatic will still be able to gain power by manipulating the collective? Ah, so this is kind of that. This is one of those responses from the academic lady. She says that is a possibility, but only if those leaders have no kind of civic sense of duty. Is killing innocents wrong to you? He says that they were consumers who bankrolled the rotten order that we live in, playing the social roles patriarchal religions have given us, that they're barely a loss. It's not giving you any, not doing you any favors there to say you're not remorseful. You know what I respect about the Liberation Front? Should I say something that I respect about the Liberation Front? Let's do it. Let's see what happens. She asks what? What I respect about the Liberation Front is how you want to achieve a world finally ruled by the most meritorious. What I respect about the Liberation Front is how you want to achieve a world with the most powerful disarmed. What I respect about the Liberation Front is how you want to achieve a world in which nobody is allowed to be more powerful than another. So this is, we have to choose the answer that we think most meets what she wants to hear, what she believes in. Does she believe in meritocracy? It doesn't seem that way. Does she believe in disarming the powerful? Yes, because she's talked about wanting to take down the patriarchy. That's kind of similar to this one about a world in which nobody will be more powerful than another. Can I have a log? Let's go for this one. This may not be the right answer. She insists that that's not at all exact, as power is needed to ensure equality as long as it's in the right hands. Ah. So we got it wrong. Okay. How do you go from yoga trainer to recruiter? She says both guide the soul to fulfillment. How would you select who to pull in? Oh man, there's a lot of questions. She says that anyone willing to put everything on the line for society's progress was welcome. Did you recruit Daryl Peterson? She says she only read about him in the papers after he was arrested. Did you recruit Fred Ennis? She says no. Did you recruit Gabriel Adams? She says she doesn't know who that is. You don't know Father Gabriel Adams? I find that hard to believe. Surely he was in the news. Did you recruit Benno Weiss? No. Did you recruit Cassandra Higgs? Well, obviously, yes. You already know that. Did you recruit Anton Drasko? There's a disgusted frown and a decisive head shake, so she doesn't like Anton Drasko. Did you recruit Linda Bailey? She says that dear Linda was here long before herself. Okay, so Linda, somehow, even though she seems to have a perfectly, happy life, is a senior in this organization. How many people did you recruit? She says, many dozens, most of them sleeper agents. Okay. And are you proud of the unlawful life you've drawn, or the awful life you've drawn these people into? And do you think they'll be used for anything else other than suicidal cannon fodder? Oh, she's getting really upset. She hopes so. Are you proud of their awful life? Oh, she didn't like that very much. She says that you fail to understand. She simply helped them lift the veil from their eyes and fight the oppressors. Okay, so we're kind of losing her here. Who were your bosses? She says she only answered to Linda Bailey. How did you do it? How did you convince all these people? Many more people than the mainstream media would have us believe are in search of a higher purpose. Well, how did you find people? She states that any person that witnessed the injustices of today's world naturally resonates with the front, and that she just picked the ones that were not yet desensitized to them. Okay, whatever. It's obvious to me now that the Liberation Front contains people with highly diverging opinions. Did you only recruit people with a similar outlook as yours? Or we know from other members that you communicate heavily through private chat rooms. Were you active in these chat rooms as well? No. So tell me about the differing opinions. She states that she only did what was right and that she would never poison such an important organization. Okay, so you only picked people just like you. Tell me about the chat rooms. She says that as much as she favors natural face-to-face communication, it was necessary at times to coordinate through secure channels. Were you active in any pet care chat rooms? She says that no, and that she doesn't understand why you would ask that. What other chat rooms do you know of? She says that she tried to stay away from them, but she did operate in a nutrition chat room and a parenting chat room. What brought you to the nutrition chat room? She says she frequented it way before the Liberation Front even existed, and the parenting one? She says that she does not know this. Oh, we asked her if Linda was in charge of the parenting chat room, because Linda has children. Okay, gotcha. Alright, we have two other friends of yours. Tell me about them. She says she saw Linda and Drasco were also brought in. Yeah, those two. What can you tell me about Antron Drasco? Doesn't seem like you like him very much. She says she doesn't know anything. I think you know more than that. What about Linda Bailey? She explains that Linda was the one in charge of their operational cell, but refused to have her sons recruited to the front. Why did Linda not want her sons in? She says that if the movement fails, they can at least watch the freak show from the first row, not from behind bars. Okay, so she wanted to kind of protect her family. Let's skip over to Mr. Drasco here. You make a good living, Mr. Drasco. Why risk your successful business by associating with terrorists? Greeting, Mr. Drasco. I have a few questions. Wow, trashy porn, exploitation of terrorism, exploitation and terrorism, trying to win Asshole of the Century award or something? No, let's be very open and very kind of friendly. No reason to actively call him a terrorist or saying that he's an asshole. Hey, you want to tell me some things? Indulge you? Man, that sounds like a euphemism for frauding or something. Come on, man. Come on. So what's your story? Self-made man, always looking for bigger things. That's what she said? Am I right? Anyways, no. Let's not even ask this question. You can read it on your screen if you'd like. Or, as a producer and a director, do you include political commentary in your art pornography? You know it. Glad you watch my stuff. I don't really. Why pornography, Anton? I was made for porn, and porn was made for me, man. It's an art form. What does your art express, Mr. Drasco? Oh, fuck off, Drasco, babe. They're smut shows only made for the cash. Or let's talk about the scandals that happened around your studio. Tell me about your art. Dissonance, you know? Critique on how we're progressing into a castrated society ruled by feminazis and betas. Okay, so, yep, we knew that you're an anti-leftist. Gotcha. Let's talk about the scandals that happened. Sure, man, I can talk about them all day long. Still, it's a risky form of art in today's political climate. It is so easy for those girls working for you to claim that you abused them. Yeah, so if we play up like, man, you know that Me Too movement, it's terrible. Like, what if we do that? Oh yeah, we're really getting on his good side now. Yeah, man, it's tough. But without hashtag politically oppressed artists, where would we be? Alright, we gotta just like push all his buttons. Push the right buttons. It's weird of you to expect that people who work as porn stars have any decency, men and women alike. What will happen to your studio now that you're behind bars? Or still tell me, what actually happened to that girl Sarah? Did you really force her to do all those scenes? Let's ask him this one. He's probably not gonna like it. Who? You mean Deborah Dank? Look, I never went beyond what was written in the contract that she was perfectly happy to sign. Only 3 months before the whole thing blew up. Deborah Dank? Where does that come from? From the Double D Cups, man. I know I'm a real genius. Got that chick on the front page of all major websites for 3 whole days because of the name alone. I'm telling you. Alright. What happened to the studio now that you're behind bars? He's probably not gonna like it, but I'm gonna ask it. It will lose some of its personality and edge, but I'm confident it'll survive. Let's not let's not say that his employees are indecent. I feel like he thinks that this is an art form that's nothing indecent about it. Are you happy in your life, Anton? Oh man, I would have liked to do more for the front before you lot grabbed me. Why haven't you done more for the front like you wanted, Anton? Time, man. Like, I've done plenty. It's just that I would have liked to have gotten the chance to do more. Okay. Let's talk about the explosive materials. Which ones? I've placed all sorts. The ones to the church? Yeah, those ones. Where'd you get them from? Let me guess, you got them from your friend Linda Bailey? It wasn't that hard. Some of them you find in DIY stores. The rest I got off the dark web and through some connections. Nothing major there. Who gave you your orders? I mostly kind of do my own thing. The others aren't telling me you're the big boss like I think you are. So it must be that they're trying to hide you, pretending that you aren't the real leader. Ah, there you go. So they're not saying you're so great. Well, yeah, that's what they've been instructed to do. Yeah, so you're trying to play yourself up like you're the big shot. Do you know what they were used in? What your explosives were used in? One of the explosions downtown? They killed dozens of innocents, for fuck's sake, Anton. We were able to disarm yours before it blew. Good for you, Chief, but you didn't get all of them. You're right. If I press this that they killed dozens of innocents, for fuck's sake, he's not gonna like it because he's like, they weren't innocent. Let's see. No, he didn't say it. Hey man, that really sucks, but we can't let white America die quietly. Okay, so you're also a racist. That's cool. I mean, that's not cool, but it's what I would expect from you. Do you know how the explosives are made? Nah, chemistry was never my subject. So you don't know how to make the explosive, you don't know what the operation was, you just delivered like a delivery boy. Ooh, we're getting a little more afraid. A little more anxious, I guess. Hey, fuck you, I'm key to this whole operation. Yeah, sure you are, bud. Sure you are. Why does the Liberation Front do these things? World's eroding, man. Weakness is the new power. The dumb and the crippled are kings. Women are told to be men. The world needs to reward those with merit again. Ah, so you're the meritocracy guy. Of course you are. Is killing innocents wrong to you? As I always say, big men gotta make calls of life and death. Okay. Don't you think that even in the utopia that the Liberation Front wants to build, the more charismatic will be able to gain power by manipulating the collective? Look, man, I don't know what you really I don't think you really got what we're all about. Well, maybe not. You know what I respect about the Liberation Front? Sure, man, go ahead. I respect that you, want a world ruled by the most meritorious. There we go. Fuck yeah, man, you get it. Do you know Gabriel Adams? Adams. Don't know. Don't think so. Got all sorts of guys, and I don't know their official names. Okay, well, tell me about your friends. Tell me about Helene Kofus. She's got a hot, petite vibe going for her. Not much else. We don't talk. So now we know why Kofus was like, ugh, that guy. Because he's really, ugh, that guy. What can you tell me about Linda Bailey? She's a good girl. Does good work. You know, Kofus says your whole thing about preventing the change of social roles is bullshit. And not what the Liberation Front is really about. I don't know if she told us this. She didn't tell us anything. But I'm going to press it. Oh yeah? Psh, what does that bitch know? She's nothing, unlike me. People in this organization obviously have no respect for your outlook on things. Tell me what the next move is, and I'll try to get you a good deal with the prosecutor. They break. Fine, fuck those bitches, fine. Look, a big bombing's coming up. Today at some factory. That's all I know. Alright, that sounds good. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna, which factory you're targeting? Which factory are you targeting? Which factory are you targeting? Linda Bailey. Miss Linda Bailey. What sort of sicko are you, Bailey? Do you cook bombs next to the pies for your kids? Like, what the fuck? Greetings, Mrs. Bailey. I have a few questions for you, if you'd be so kind to indulge me. Well, greetings, Linda. Looking at your file, other than the terrorism thing, you seem like a perfect mom. Yeah, maybe let's go for that one. Ah, there you go. Thank you, dear. The terrorism thing, as you call it, is also part of being a good mom. Is it now? What's your story? Tell me about it. Just a mama bear. And is killing thousands of innocents key to being a mama bear? And is making the world better for your cubs part of being a mama bear? Ah, you know it is. Exactly. Who's taking care of your kids now that you're in jail? Let's not ask that one. Let's not ask that one. That's probably gonna make her real mad. Are you happy in your life, Linda? I was, yes. My family makes me happy. I wonder what makes you happy. I like having fun. That's what matters in life. I find joy in my work and the good I can do. Putting filth like you in the dark pits where you deserve to rot away. I like doing good. I guess that's nice, darling. Okay. What does your family think about your arrest? I don't know about asking that one, but I'll do it. They're struggling to understand. Nothing much to understand. Their mom is a mass murderer. We'll try to get you some time with them after that. You want them to be able to see this freak show if it goes ahead. Exactly. Okay. Can you tell me again what your family thinks? Your file says you are unemployed. Are you only living off your late husband's veteran pension? Yes, it's enough for a decent life. I would prefer my boys living with love rather than luxury. How did General Thompson die exactly? Is that a... I mean, let's ask it. It's a really rude question, but let's ask it. Colon cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. It's terrible. What particular part of the military did your husband serve? He was a communications officer. He never led a unit. Spent most of his career teaching at the local military academy. Okay, and your husband was an important person, somebody who could have pushed for change but didn't. How does that make you feel? I don't know if we want to ask that question. I don't know if we want to denigrate her husband and say he didn't do enough. That's probably bad. What would the late General Thompson say about the murders you've committed? He understood what it means to make hard decisions. Should we ask this one? I'm asking this one. It's probably going to backfire. It didn't backfire. Who said he didn't push for change? He did every day, trying to instill values and virtues in his students. But yes, he did not do enough. I don't have a lot of questions for you right now. Let's talk about your kids. What are their names? George, Robert, and Ulysses. Of course, like... What? George Patton, Ulysses S. Grant, Robertson. I don't know. I'm sure I'm missing an obvious Robert, like, war person. My husband always thought it would be good luck to name them after great men. Yeah. What age are they? George is 15, Robert is 12, Ulysses is 7. What's George like? George is a rather shy boy, and I think he spends a bit too much time playing computer games. I just hope his new girlfriend of his gets him out of the house more. Since he stopped doing karate, you barely see him out of his room. What's Robert like? Robert is a bit of a menace. I hope it's just the age. And Ulysses? Ulysses is a wonderful boy, smart, energetic, and with a warm heart. No mother could ever ask more from a son. So it is true. Do mothers love all their children equally? Of course. Okay. Or so is it true? Not it is true. Do they like living in the countryside? Ulysses and Robert love it. I think George will soon get to the age at which he will start to hate it, but I don't know how to solve that. Probably if you just get better internet. Like, if you can get a better internet speed, I'm sure George would love it. Homeschool, public school, or private school? None of them. It's important to offer a mixed education, a good public school with some private tutoring, key extracurricular activities, and a lot of time or help and love at home, and also some free time to allow them to discover their true selves. You know, that sounds like a perfectly good, reasonable thing. I'm not getting a lot out of you, lady. Let's talk about the explosives. What can I say? I like to cook. Who did you send the explosives to? Oh, all sorts of nice people. Who gave you the orders to make them? My own initiative, of course. Oh, sure. Do you know what they were used in? I do. We managed to save kids from dying in the explosion. They killed dozens of innocent people, some children with mothers. We managed to save kids. Ah, there we go. She likes that. That's good. That's good. I know you're high in the ranks, but an operation on this scale is surely above the status you have with the front. Lady Luck, trust me with managing my own cell. Okay. Why Daniel Wilson? I don't remember who Daniel Wilson was. Daniel Wilson was the guy at the mall that you manipulated? He was the security guard? Poor thing needed help with his mother, so I tried to help. Okay, it makes sense based on your story. But you didn't help him, you blackmailed him. In exchange, he was to help you with the bomb, then be with his mom. Like it should be. Okay. Why does the Liberation Front do these things? Oh, there's a lot of questions. The world has always belonged to the powerful, and that will never change. All we can do is weaken the powerful and take their control away. Yep, okay. Isn't killing innocents wrong to you? The powerful kill men directly and indirectly at will. Stopping this freak show society is worth it. Or the Liberation Front pays criminals to do tasks for them. Are you certain these people have been paid enough to not talk when questioned? Oh, darling, we have that handled. Don't you worry. Don't you think that even in the utopia that the Liberation Front wants to build, the more charismatic will still be able to gain power by manipulating the collective? Oh dear, I think you've got us figured all wrong. Do you know what I respect most about the Liberation Front, Linda? I like that you want to take out the most powerful people so that we may determine our fate again. Exactly, Linda. You're close to the leadership, Linda. Are they after the same things as you? Because almost every front member I talk to thinks the objective is different. Heh, that's how we work. We don't need to agree on the end outcome, just that we want to stop what's happening now. But you want the powerful to lose their control. What if the Liberation Front leaders are using all these people to become the new powerful? Oh wow, she just jumped from 8 to 10. Huh, I guess that could be the case. So now we got her thinking that maybe the other people, her bosses, aren't so great after all. We have 2 other friends of yours. Tell me about them. Anton and Helene, yes. What can you tell me about her? Helene would work for us as a recruiter. She's one of my best acquisitions. She did so well mobilizing Cassandra. And Anton? Oh, she's up to 11 now. We don't really trust him for doing anything more than deliveries. Yeah, that's the impression I got. They seem like very different people. How do you manage that? by making sure that they have no time to discuss their naive outlooks on life and society. That's how you make siblings in conflict work together. You don't give them time to bicker. Tell me, ma'am, which factory are you targeting? Oh, now it's timed. Oh, God. Now it's timed. Oh, you found that out, huh? Good job. It's going off very soon. Your leadership, close to Lady Luck. You know what'll happen. What's the plan? Come on. I want to know how this freak show might ever be stopped. We need to take back control over our lives, or I understand that the common goal is bigger than the individual ideology. Ideology is just a distraction that we must get over. Let's go for your leadership. The plan is to make change, honey. Okay. Well, what about the ideology thing? Where's the bombing taking place, Linda? I think you're smart enough to understand. I have no reason to disclose that to someone I can't trust. Okay, well, let's go for this one. We want to stop the freak show. Do you really? I'm glad you see things this way. She's very calm now. But she's very open to us. Let me see the freak show fireworks. In the end, we'll strike back against ourselves. So we're really just playing into, we're saying like we want to see this. Show us the fireworks. Okay, well, that was a weird thing. Like, so she thought that we were on her side. We played it up so much. She's like, we convinced her that we weren't police, that we also wanted to end the weirdness in society. All right, you know, that's a interesting way to do it, but okay, I'll accept it. 25 Ascent Road, south of town. It's a weapons plant, and it'll blow up spectacularly. Well, if you were going to blow something up, a weapons plant sounds like a good target. Thank you, ma'am. Achievement unlocked. Broken people. Interrogation successful. We have to scramble. Hustle, boys. Like, this guy looks like concerned. Like, he's getting out there. Like, Mr. Santa Claus here is really hustling. She looks like she's hustling. This dude is looking at his superior officer's backside. Look at that. He's like, look at that bum. Come on, get it together, man. Three individuals suspected of having deep ties with the Liberation Front have today been arrested. All of them confessed to being involved with the various terrorist cells that initiated the bomb attacks. Anton Drasko, a young adult movie director with a track record of sexual abuse accusations, human trafficking accusations, unpaid worker accusations, sounded like sexual abuse accusations, was found to have used his studio as a front to deliver explosives. In the basement of Linda Bailey, that's a weird sentence structure. In the basement of Linda Bailey's home, or in Linda Bailey's basement. In the basement of Linda Bailey sounds like another bum talk. I don't know. Raw materials and chemicals were used to manufacture the explosive ordnance of the same type and caliber that was used by the Liberation Front. A widow and single mother. Her tutelage has been revoked and her children have been placed in foster care. Her children were unaware of their mother's criminal activities. That's probably true. Was there a third one? She forced her children to assist in her criminal activities. No, that one. Her children were unaware. Aline Kalfus has been linked to convicted terrorist Cassandra Higgs and has confessed to recruiting her and several others, encouraging her to commit one of these terrorist attacks, and manipulating her to commit, recruiting her and several others. I mean, we could say manipulating her, but we know she was a recruiter. It's a very fine line between recruitment and manipulating, but all of these confessions are the result of diligent investigative efforts, the aid and cooperation of the general public, the result of diligent investigative efforts, yes, and brings us much closer to ending the Liberation Front, finding out what the Front's next target is, ending them, just ending them completely. There you go, send that off to the wires. These fuckers are ready for another attack. We need to treat this as a cold, hard fact. Get to it, now. Identify where this factory is exactly. It's 25 Ascent Road. We've already done this. Evacuate the place urgently. Go, go, go! All right. Now we have 4 people to move around. You really need some help. You just need to go home early, Tab. Just go home. You just need to go home. Jennifer? Well, let's see what our boy Joseph can do. What is he good at? He's good at lobbying for donations, formulating budget requests, and volunteer in another department. Help out other departments deal with their workload. Do things by the book. Work with the DA. I don't remember what do things by the book got us. Jennifer? I wish I could have everybody up at once. Recruit informer. Work with the DA. Lobby for donations. Those are your top 3. Mordecai? You're pretty low motivation too, huh? Or at least you're just not very good at these tasks. Joseph? You are lobby for donations. Work with the DA. Recruit informer is lower. So let's have you recruit an informer. Joseph, work with the DA. Have them pay for damages for at least facilitating terrorist organizations. We get the chat rooms to give us money. Lobby for donations. Pressure NGOs that were connected to Humanitas to sponsor our campaign. Let's lobby for donations with Joseph. And Mordecai... I mean, Mordecai, you just go home early, dude. You just go home, relax, buddy. Oh, I can't send you both home early. That's weird. That's kind of a weird statement that I can't send 2 people home early at the same time, but whatever. Instead, volunteer in other departments. Help out other departments with their workload. How about that? Go help out some people. Give me an HR report. I'm gonna need some team building. And reward them. Yeah, I mean, that really takes our money down to almost nothing. Alright, so there you go. Fail. You failed, Mordecai. Recruit informer. Convinced she's accepted to start working with us. Lobby for donations. Success. They accepted, making a small donation to our department. Volunteer failed. The department we tried to help refused our assistance. And Tab went home early. Tab went home, but reportedly couldn't stop thinking about the case. Popularity went up. Press approval went down. Authorities approval went up. How favorable the institution in the city judge your results. Yeah, we're doing good things. Your HR report is ready. Oh, we're all good now. Tab, moderate level. High, very high, very high. I like that. What do we know on the detective wall? Kind of piecing it together, but I don't really know if I can tell anything from this right now. There's Helene. All right, let's just City Hall at odds with itself. Let's read the newspaper. What's all this? Caught somewhere between the hammer and the anvil. Garima Patel. Oh, I'm sorry. We should start down here. It's an odd placement of that that chart. I'd maybe put it down here so that the words start at the top of the page. But whatever. It's talking about the mayor. Garima Patel's approval rating is going down, apparently. I don't think this is important. It could be important, but I don't want to read it. Let's just move on. Let's move on until we get the next person in, or we have to do the next interrogation or whatever, and then we'll end the episode. She wasn't easy to get, but I'd like you to meet lovely Rachel Ezra. Is she the informant? Hello, Miss Ezra. She has some relevant secondhand intel about the front for us. I'll leave you to it. Coffee? Water? Have a seat. You ready? There's no need to be nervous. Can I get you anything? No, I'm good. Let's just get this over quick, please. Okay. Well, I must have gotten you some coffee. And what looks like a giant pastry. What can you report on, Miss Ezra? Or what do you have for me today, Rachel? What can you report on, Miss Ezra? Well, my boyfriend, pretty sure he's involved with the Liberation Front. Very well, go on. Wow, snitching on your boyfriend, huh? If I may, why do you maintain the relationship if you know he's with the front? Let's not push around questions like this. Just go on, please. Well, like, ask me. Okay. What's his name? We don't even need his name. This is about the front, not about him. What's his name? I'd rather not make this about him. That was a bad option. He hasn't done anything wrong himself. I can respect that. We're after the front, after all, not after him. You realize we could easily find out his name if we were able to find you. Well, I can respect that. Thank you. How can you be sure he's with the Liberation Front? I found all sorts of material around the house, like propaganda and stuff, and other small clues. How was he recruited? I'm not sure about that. Has he been involved in any attacks? No, I'm sure he hasn't, but I wanted to ask, if I think he might be about to in the future, what do I do? You let him go through with it while reporting to us. You do anything you can to stop him and report back to us. You get yourself to safety and report back to us. There you go. Don't stop him. We don't know what these people might do to you. You just get yourself to safety, ma'am. All right, will do if push comes to shove. That's right. You just extract yourself and you call my number. Call 911. You don't even have to take my card. Just call 911. That's all you got to remember. How do they organize? Do you know? There's this weird chat room he's on. Something to do with pets. And we don't have any pets. So I think maybe there. Yeah, we know about the chat room. Where do they meet? There's this place. Cafe Frigi. This is not his style in any way. He wouldn't be caught dead in such a hipster hangout. So I assume he goes there to talk to other Liberation Front people. Alright, any names you can give us? No names, but I can tell you that they all seem to work in sets of 2. There's this guy who my boyfriend gave an obviously fake name that he often meets. I've overheard him talking about their gatherings as pod meetings. Other sets of 2 seems to have them too. Okay, well that's all you can give me for now. That's fine. Thank you. We'll stay in touch. Okay, I will, but I hope my boyfriend drops his shit before we have to talk again. I hope so too, ma'am. Whose name I can't remember. We're done here. Thank you. That doesn't count as an interrogation. For ending the episode, by the way. We've evacuated the factory. We've determined that there could have been only one way for someone to circumvent the system and bring in any explosives. It needs to have been someone with special access to the digital security system. The system does confirm that the special access was used during this last week. This was the first time in months. And only 3 people have special access. The CEO and the factory owner, one Aaron King. The chief of security, one Steve Moradian. And the police officer that audited their system 18 months ago to clear it safe. Who is it? It's Tab. Tab frickin' Thompson. Don't you do this to me, Tab. Don't you do this to me. I hope you understand. Tab has to be part of the questioning. Oh, I hate you, Chief Anderson. That's bullshit. You know full well Tab can't have anything to do with this. I understand. We can't look like we're giving our own a pass. Absolutely, I'll be sure to grill Tab as seriously as the rest. We can't be totally sure they're not involved. Oh, Tab even told us that they used to work with some anarchists or had some anarchist beliefs. Don't be Tab. Don't be Tab. Look, I get it. I get it. If it looks like we've got favoritism, it's not going to be pretty. Exactly. Not to mention how this Liberation Front has a shockingly wide spectrum of members. Get in there and get a location for these explosives before they blow up the factory. Meanwhile, we'll try to get this Benno Weiss, who's hiding out with his uncle, out of state. We'll try to get to him. Okay. All right, I guess that's where we'll end the episode. This was a pretty good one. No overly long sections, and we figured it out without a walkthrough. So that's always good. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time.